Peace and prosperity be unto all who's listening and watching. It's your girl, Shaeranea, right? I'm back with another video. Hey everybody, hey guys, how are you doing? Subscribe, like, comment, share this video if you like it. I know it's a lot going on because the world is about to open back up due to this pandemic, and you know, a lot of things going on right now in the world, and you don't want to get, you know, distracted. You want to be informed, but you want to know what to be informed on. You want to get caught up in all the negativity and the things that are really going on, to the point where you lose focus on you, your mental state, your health, your well-being, your happiness, your goals, your dreams, and all the things that you know you need to take care of as an individual, as a person, as a businesswoman, as whatever whatever you may be. You want to make sure that you're taking care of things in a way that's going to set you up for the long run, you know, set yourself up to win, you know. Yesterday I was talking about, you know, the reasons why a lot of people don't succeed. It's because they fail to commit. And that's a lot of things people fail to commit to. You know, it's not just business. It's not just dreams. It's not just themselves. It's not just, you know, friendships or relationships or companionships or whatever. It's everything. People fail to commit. And people have reasons, you know. People have excuses. People have shortcuts. And people have other things in which they believe is better than, you know, making that final decision, you know, of stepping up. And the thing is, when you don't step up for you, you don't fully make that decision. You know, it's kind of like having your foot in the door and having the other one outside the door. You know, are you going to go through, or are you going to just, you can't just stay half in things for the rest of your life. You got to be somewhere in your life, sometime in your life, fully committed to something. Now, this doesn't go for everybody, but, you know, not everybody can ever fully commit. It's not a lot of people in this world that know how to fully commit to something or someone, or dreams, or themselves, or just anything in life. You know, most people, the fear of commitment really put, you know, a dagger in most people's heart. You know, that thing. Some things are scary, but, you know, as women, as men, as people, we must overcome the fears in which we face. And, you know, because fear make us greater, you know, but cause when you face them, they make you greater. You know, facing things isn't the absence of fear, you know. A lot of people have stage fright, but they still get up and perform. A lot of people can't stand driving, but get up and drive and go to work. I mean, if you don't do it despite fear, if you don't do it despite the fact, you're making excuses. You're making justifications, and that's just an excuse to work around a reason in which you never plan to execute. Don't pursue anything in this life. Don't say you won't. Don't desire. Don't get into anything. Don't have dreams and goals have commitments and have actions. If you're going to be about it, you're going to be about it. You're going to fully commit. You're going to fully be in it. You're going to fully make the actions. You're going to fully focus on the things in which you know you need to focus on in order to make those things happen. No one out here is going to make it happen for you. And the reality of that is it's plain and simple. If you keep taking shortcuts, if you keep doing what you always done, sticking to the ways that you always known and the patterns and behaviors in which you've always done, if you keep leaning on fear to be your excuse for why you don't do anything, or your fear of failure for an excuse for why you never started, or it may not be the best, if you keep sticking to your excuses, those thoughts that keeps antagonizing you, that makes you procrastinate and prevents you from going on, if you keep sticking to that route, you're gonna live a life with a lot of regret. You're gonna live a life that is unfulfilling. You're gonna live a life that is, when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna feel unworthy. You're going to feel a sense of unworthiness of living because you neglect to do what it is that your deepest desire to do. Now, there's a lot of things in this life that, our patterns are, things like addictions and things that we tie ourselves to, whether they be soul ties or, anything. It's a lot of things we tie ourselves to. It's a buku of things that we tie ourselves to that we can't get out of, like this. And, some things is more of a growing of, and some of it's more of a growing out of, So some things you grow in, and some things you grow through, and some things you grow out of. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all about growing in the way that in which you have to grow in order to overcome the patterns and the things that you're experiencing in your life right now. It really depends on what God has planned for you, or it really depends on your desires. It really depends on what you want for you in your life. So, are you gonna be committed, and when will you start? Because all these setting thoughts in your mind, it's powerful. Mind's powerful. We got amazing ideas, but amazing ideas don't get us billions and billions of dollars. Million ideas don't create $1 billion habits, actions, and massive in and out in everyday doings do. Like you making an effort, you making the commitment, you deciding to do that. You have to be the ultimate indication of whether you really want the things you say you want. And it's leading with your actions. It's leading with your words. It's leading with all of who you are. And it's committing to you, because at the end of the day, when you got ideas, you got dreams, you got heart desires, you got things in your minds, and you need to know the difference between things that are good for you and things that are not good for you. Some things that in which are not good for us, we indulge in them the most. We indulge in the ideas that some things that seem better may be better for now, but ultimately you're just wasting time and energy when you could focus on the things that you know is best for you right now. Focus on the things that are most best for you. Wasting all this time getting this useless experience. Yeah, we live a short life here because life is short. Life can end overnight, anytime, whatever. But thing about that is you want to live a life worthy of having. You want to make sure that you're enjoying yourself, enjoying your life, doing things that are worthy of your time. Like we all have a lot of room to grow. We all have to make the decisions and live with the decisions and mistakes and things that we choose to do. But you want to make sure that you're doing things best for you. Because people don't really think about what's best for them when they make decisions. They think about what's best for now, what may have the greatest outcome, what may give me money fast, what may help my family right now, this shortcut sounds good, and what it sounds good in your mind may not be good to your life, may not add on to your life, may not grow your life, may not add more abundance, may not be fruitful, may not multiply, may not be what it is that you need. You need to really, when you're thinking about things for your life, when you're thinking about things for your future, your children's, your life, your companion, when you're thinking about things for people you love and yourself, you gotta get deep. You can't just be on that surface. That surface stuff, a lot of people be on that surface stuff. But you got to think about the totality of how that may affect you, your companion, your partner, your children, the outcome of this decision, how it's going to affect you all and you both, and how you're going to work through that. Because you got to work through that. You got to work through these things. Because you just don't want to act like things in your life and decisions that you make won't affect you and your partners and your companions, and the things that you're doing won't affect your children and you. And the things that you're doing affects your soul, your spirit, your mind, your mental stability, your spiritual well-being, your physical state, your livelihood of your surroundings, of whether you got what you need and what you want. You need to be thinking about everything. Like, everybody's all shortcoming when it comes to self. You gotta be on top for self. That's the number one rule to self-love and being committed. When you could commit to yourself and give yourself what you need, so that you can always have what you want. When you have what you need, you can always have what you want. This concept is never overlooked. For somebody who's a prepper and someone who's always prepared for anything, any life situation comes up, and I'm prepared for it. Now, I've even mentally prepared my mind for death. I've even mentally prepared my mind for a heartbreak. I've mentally prepared my mind for many things, because I don't care for the unexpected like most people. I care for what is expected. And what is expected is that no matter how good of a person I am, I'm going to experience hardships. I'm going to experience life, and things are going to happen to me. Let's get a reality of reality, okay? Right, everybody's living in virtual reality and, fairy tale and social media and this and that. Well, can we get back to reality and get back to what really happens on a daily basis? Get back to what happens behind closed doors, because you wake up in the morning and things happen, and sometimes it doesn't go out the way you thought it would. It doesn't go out the way that you planned it did. Those goals and dreams don't go out as you set them out. They go out as the process allows it. As a life around you or is aligning, as the things that you desire, your intention, your beneficial needs, and all your behaviors and habits, whether good or bad, all those things are the alignment of your life and the reality of your perception and what you may manifest every single day based on your efforts and your doing alone. Okay? You are the creator of your life. You are somebody who needs to step up for yourself. You're somebody who needs to commit for yourself. You need to make sure that you're committed to you. It's the same with love. If you want love, you gotta love yourself first. Like, for real. Like, you can't go out there expecting love and not giving love to yourself. It's not gonna feel good. Everybody else loving you and you not loving yourself, and everybody else committing but you're not committing to yourself. Everybody stepping up for you but you not stepping up for yourself. What kind of excuse do you have for that? It's time for you to step up for yourself. And when you learn how to step in and step up for you, man, you will be so powerful. You will be the most amazing person you can be, because you're stepping up in your greatness. You're stepping up in who you are. And stop falling back into old ways. It's a lot of things that I've experienced when I was young. And it's a lot of things I've done when I was young. And it's a lot of things I gave up young. Because the reason why I was so big on experiencing things is so that I wouldn't be a wise fool in my adulthood. I wouldn't be a fool, just a foolish fool in my adult age. I am 25 now. Like, I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to run around and do the foolish things I used to do. I don't want to, have to experience those things I once went through. I don't want to go through heartbreak again. But I mentally prepare my mind for that. I mentally prepare my mind for a lot of things in my life. I mentally prepare my mind for death when it comes to loved ones, or when it comes to myself, when it's time for me to face my death. I'm somebody who's prepared mentally or physically or emotionally, or reality is like, I accept what is and not what I want it to be. I am so realistic about things. It's only black and white with me. It's only... Now, I know there's a balance of both, and I live in the full balance of both. But for moments in life, every moment, every making of the 24 hours of every day of all my life, there's only now. There's only... Right now there's black. Right now there's white. In a conversation, there's either white or black. Yeah. It's reading. I know I can read between the lines of what's gray. I get the gray part, and it's very important too. I'm not going to leave out the totality of things because I believe in the totality of things. I believe that the unified nation needs everything and the totality of the whole universe itself. Without it, we wouldn't be who we are. But at the end of the day, I'm somebody who's just very driven, straightforward, very all about it, very on top of it, very committed, very devoted, very loving, very compassionate, and very serious. And most people don't really get to see that funny side of me. I'm a very funny person. I'm very like lighthearted, but when it comes to like helping people, when it comes to fulfilling my purpose, when it comes to living, I am somebody who's serious. I am someone who's honest. I'm somebody who's caring, and I'm somebody who's gonna be on your butt. Like, I'm gonna be on your butt. I'm like the best accountability person you can ever meet, because like I'm not letting nobody make excuses to me. I'm not letting anybody shortcut. I am not letting anybody just slag. I mean, I can't make decisions for people, but I ain't finna just be letting people make excuses to me. You know, you could make excuses to Bob, John, and Willie, and KK. But baby, you ain't finna make it to Shay and Lachey and Mayola, like all these personalities that I have. You're not gonna make, no one's gonna make excuses to me. If you're gonna say things that you're gonna do, you're gonna do them. That's it. And then, or you can leave. That's just how I feel. Like, I don't have time to beat around the bush. And that's probably why I'm such a straightforward person. And most people would hate something like that. Most people don't like a straightforward person because they could probably consider that person to be a total B. But I'm not a total B. I'm totally like relaxed and cool and like lighthearted. But you know, when you're talking to me, you wouldn't even think that. You'd be like, this person is such a B word. Like, gosh, they are always so serious. Like, do they ever laugh? And I know guys who pursue me, or like guys who want to try to date me, or guys who want to go on a date. Like, people pursue for many years and can't get to me because that's how focused I be. Like, that's how focused I am. You gotta be talking to me. You gotta be like worthy of my time. Seriously. Because this is a difference between people who, I'm not saying people, it ain't good guys out there. I'm saying that I only focus my attention to things that need my attention at that specific phase and time of my life. God allows me to see things in people in which they don't fully see in themselves. God gave me the ability to see things that in which you yet can see in yourself. I have the ability to give power back to people in a way in which most people aren't taking time to do. So I fully accept people for how they are, but I don't make excuses for nobody, okay? At the end of the day, Lachey is not perfect. Lachey is worth it. Lachey is amazing. I know a lot of guys pursue me, and I definitely am worth the time to pursue, but I want people to all, I know I've cut off a lot of people, and I've probably hurt a lot of feelings in my life. I've not wasted many men's time because I don't have time to waste, and they don't have time. Most people, you know, when I cut them off or, you know, ignore them, they call me out my name. But you know what? You would be mad at a person who led you on, who wasn't honest with you. I'm honest with you. I'm telling you, like, I don't desire the same. We're not, like, I don't feel that way. I don't have the same feelings or energy for you. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to waste people's time, because playing with people's emotions and not being direct about what you want and what you desire, and not being able to compromise, because there are some boundaries and things in which I cannot go. Like, there's some sort of self-betrayals that a person like me would never do to myself, because it'd be like going back to my old ways, and it's just not who I am. So when I'm thinking about how I help people and how I prevent myself from wasting time, how I may save the feelings and build up people in a way that they don't necessarily know they need. Well, I cut people off before they get too clingy, too attached, too emotional, too driven. There's nothing wrong with being passionate, there's nothing wrong with liking me. There's nothing wrong with really desiring someone like me. There's nothing wrong with having thirst or lust at times. But honestly, it's like I'm a very specific kind of person. I'm very straightforward, like I said. You don't want to waste your time committing to a pursuit in which you would never obtain. Because it takes years to obtain me, and after years you still need to put in the work once you've got me. So now that I'm thinking about it, I think the biggest thing for me as a woman was like hurting people. When I was hurting people, and that was like when I was young. I experienced my heartbreak early on, and I was hurting people, and I was hurting myself. And it was very self-destructive behavior, because no longer the woman who was really good to a man, who's really committed like for years and done her best. Maybe that best wasn't good enough for that person, but I've always been a woman who pride myself on doing good and doing good to people. And I know it's always limits to the good, because not everybody will appreciate the good. But I always pride myself in doing good and being good to people. And the biggest thing was always hurting people who fall for me, because there's many people who fell for me and I didn't fall for them. I didn't feel the same. The love in which they had for me was not ever reciprocated back from me. And that was like the deepest. It was not hurtful in a way that it just affect me mentally or emotionally, but it was just like something like, if I could take that love away from them so they would not endure a pain of being rejected or a pain of not being loved by me, I would take it away from them. I'm somebody who's like super into devotion and like compassion, and I find connection is pretty deep and scarring. And those mean a lot to me because I'm a very non-materialistic kind of person. So when you're somebody like me who's not materialistic, you take relationships and bonds and stuff like that very sacred and very serious, and you want to be honest during those times. So I've grown up a lot, and it's a lot of things that I do now that I promise I won't stick to, because I'm always growing. I don't stick to things and patterns and habits. I'm constantly growing, and I'm constantly letting go, because anything that hinders me from growing can't hold my attention, can't hold my time. So to every man who's ever pursued me, I apologize that, you didn't get what you desired, but it was really for the best for you. You may have felt some kind of way, but at the end of the day, I was really giving you mad respect, because I didn't want to lead you on antagonizing your feelings, making you feel some kind of way in which I wasn't going to give. Like, I wasn't going to give you what you desire from me, and I didn't have that to give. I don't have that to give to everybody. I only have that to give to a certain person, and it's not a lot of me that I'm willing to give to a lot of people, and I'm very selective about people in my life. So I don't know why this came up in the conversation when I was talking about commitment. Maybe God put it in my mind and my heart to speak on this, because I'm not somebody who really speaks about stuff like this. But this is random. Me coming out talking like that is just weird. But yeah. So fellas, if you ever been rejected by me or denied or pushed away, it was either for the best, or that I didn't feel the same. I didn't want to plagiarize with your feelings, because you are a person. You deserve, to be loved and cared for. You deserve the energy that you put into somebody. I'm somebody who's just, I'm a principle driven kind of person. Like, I just don't believe in wasting people's time. I don't want people wasting my time. Don't waste my time. But yeah. But that's all, you guys. And like I said, commitment starts with you, but it all starts with like committing to yourself. So that was just me being deep. I don't know where that came from. I'm just really, my mind, sometimes I could sit and talk and things just come out. Like, some of my past just come out. Some of the things I experienced just come out. I don't really talk a lot, but when I do talk, things do come out. So, peace, love, happiness, have a abundant day.